Good evening. The time is now 5:30 p.m. This meeting of Georgetown County Council is now being called to order. The date is June 28th, 2022. I'm looking down the days, I see we do have a quorum. I'll ask Councilman Carolina to lead us in the invocation, to give us the invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're here today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Allow us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of our community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that will affect the citizens, businesses, environment, and the future of Georgetown County. Continue to remind us that all that we do as stewards over the land is for the greater glory of you in service of humanity and humanity worldwide. My prayer is for peace worldwide. We pray for peace for all and ask of these things in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Carolina. And thank you all for attending this Georgetown County Council meeting. We move on down to the approval of the agenda. There's a recommendation to move item 15A and 15B forward on the agenda. With that recommendation, is there approval for our agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. With that being said, we'll move forward with a nonprofit spotlight. Tonight we have a presentation by Ms. Carmelita Pyatt, the program director for Mango Creek Academy. Sorry.
Good evening. Georgetown, we already know that Georgetown has a sizable, persistent achievement gap between students based on race and economic status, socioeconomic status, for many historical and cultural reasons and demographic makeup. There was a time during the pandemic when there were 67% of South Carolina considered child care desert due to temporary closures associated with COVID-19 response. These closures will have detrimental effect on students throughout our county and our state. The video, please.
Mango Creek Academy was started in tribute to the wonderful 50-plus year legacy of Tara Hall Incorporated. The board's decision to serve more students was made to transition into a non-residential preschool for girls and boys on the Tara Hall campus. In August of 2021, the doors were opened to 15 3- and 4-year-olds with a dedication to education and equality, the key to positive change and success in life, especially for families in disadvantaged portions of western Georgetown County.
We are a First Steps 4K school that is focused on play-based learning and use the creative curriculum. As a teacher at MCA, I feel that it is my mission to provide a safe space for all students.
Mango Creek Academy at Tara Hall is the first of its kind in western Georgetown and Williamsburg counties. It's a flagship early childhood private school. Families in the rural area of Georgetown County and a budding Communities of Williamsburg County now have an independent private school that serves the unique needs of those students and their families in their own community, addressing the educational opportunity gap in this part of the county.
I have two daughters. One is in 3K and the other is in 4K at Mingo Creek Academy. Prior to attending Mingo, they were at a daycare, and enrolling them here was the best choice my husband and I made. My 3-year-old is able to write her name and has begun identifying letters. She is kind of shy, but she is learning to be more confident in herself. I am excited to see where she is academically by the time she enters kindergarten. My 5-year-old knows most of her letter sounds. She can spell and write her name, mom, dad, and her siblings' names without assistance. She can even identify rhyming words. Both of their vocabularies have grown so much. My 5-year-old built a tower a couple days back, and when I picked her up from school, she asked me, "Mommy, are you impressed with me?" Her tower was great, but I was impressed with her vocabulary. It has successfully prepared her for kindergarten. The teachers and administration are great as well. They have so much patience, and you can tell that they love the students and what they do.
As a lifelong educator and advocate for children and a resident of the western part of Georgetown County, I believe that all children can learn and be successful and deserve a high-quality education option that meets their specific needs. Research shows that high-quality early learning provides young children with the foundation for healthy development and academic success. At Mingo Creek Academy, we are providing the youngest students with an excellent early education to ensure they have the best foundation in literacy to help them be successful.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Waits, and I'm a proud Mingo Creek Academy parent. My daughter Nolan and I absolutely love everything about Mingo Creek Academy, from the facility to the staff, the teachers. My daughter loves her teacher, Miss Lennon. One thing I truly appreciate about Mingo Creek Academy is that it provides a place for my daughter to continue to grow into the leader that she is. I love the fact that they allow the children to learn through play, which is what kids naturally want to do anyway. I love the close-knitness of this community and the fact that it's people from our community serving the children of our community.
Each month, we are learning about a different unit, and within those months, we are developing their social emotional, physical, language, cognitive, literacy, and mathematics skills. One of my favorite things about being a 4K teacher is creating and developing the foundation for our little minds in our classroom and seeing them grow. Each day, our children come in learning something new and are excited to share what they have learned when they go home.
Mingo Creek Academy is funded by private donations and grants supporting rural schools. Student scholarships are available to attend based on need. Our doors are open for 3 and 4K and 5K students, and no child will be turned away because of the inability to pay.
If you ever feel inclined to donate to Mingo Creek Academy, please go to our Facebook page or website for more information.
Study shows that 25% of low-income children under 5 and 25% of the families who receive federal assistance for child care are in informal care. That means that in the western part of Georgetown County, most of those students are with family child care, home-based care, often because those are most often accessible and it's culturally appropriate and affordable child care option. Now, the groundwork at Mingo Creek Academy has been laid and to help improve early childhood education. And I would want to leave you with one thing. This is 90%. That's how much of a child's brain is formed by age 6. I'm telling you, as our elected representatives and the audience tonight, to please tell your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, and your constituents, anyone who asks or is interested, why early childhood education matters, because it most certainly does. Early childhood development programs in our community are not a cost, but rather an investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pyatt. And thank you for providing early childhood program to our county and the adjoining counties. We now have a presentation from the National Youth Sports Alliance Better Sports for Kids Quality Program Provider, Ms. Goodall.
So we have achieved in Parks and Recreation one of the goals we set for our department a year or so ago. We were just awarded the National Youth Sports Alliance Better Sports for Kids Quality Program Provider Gold Seal. It's kind of a mouthful, but we went through a comprehensive application process that included a review of our whole department. We had to present verifiable history of our staff training with an emphasis on safety and quality programming. They reviewed our standard operating procedures, our volunteer screening programs, and our coach and parent education programs, which we had to develop over the past year. So we're really excited that we were given this designation. We're one of just a couple of departments in the state of South Carolina to receive the designation, and you'll be seeing a gold seal on all of our facilities when you enter from now on. It's a 2-year process, so we will, of course, continue to keep up the standards and reapply as necessary, but very excited to be one of the few departments to have this designation locally. We brought Forrest for the presentation, so we've got a certificate that they sent to us.
Stand up there with the squirrel.
Exactly. We'll move on down to our public comment period. A public comment period is included on each meeting agenda and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to no more than 3 minutes. No speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk of council before the meeting is called to order. At the end of your 3 minutes, there'll be a buzzer which will sound, and we ask you to rapidly conclude your comments at that particular time. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone signed up for public comments?
Mr. Chairman, we have one speaker tonight, and that's our Mr. Brandon Ellis.
Okay.
Good evening, Chairman Morant, members of council. I'm in a unique position on the agenda tonight. I think that was by happenstance, but I'm going to try to not be subject to the 3-minute timer. But Madam Administrator wanted us to come tonight and present to you guys, you all, the new fire chief for Georgetown County Fire EMS, Mr. Jim Falkenhagen. Chief Falkenhagen has been a staple at Georgetown County Fire EMS for over 30 years. He brings 3 decades of experience in the fire and EMS spectrum to the department, and we wanted to present him to you tonight in this setting so that you could put a face with the name, because he's spent most of his time hiding out on an ambulance, serving the public and taking care of our citizens. So now he's in a new role. We're excited to have him here, and we're extremely fortunate to have him here, and we look forward to moving forward with the direction that we're taking fire and EMS in Georgetown County.
Thank you. Any comments?
Just thank you for the opportunity. The director and the administrator showed a lot of faith in me, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to working with y'all and getting your support so we can move our department forward. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. We move on to our approval of minutes. First, I have our council minutes for our council work session on May 10th, 2022. Is there a motion for adoption of those particular minutes? Is
So moved.
there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then our minutes of our regular council meeting on May 24th, 2022. Is there a motion for adoption of those minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. By virtue of our approving our agenda, there are 4 matters included on the consent agenda. And it was approved by virtue of our approving our agenda. That's the contract number 21-032, change order number 2 to runway 5-23 rehabilitation at Georgetown County Airport, procurement number 22-04, Seafront Road construction, Proverbs Lane, RFP number 22-025, professional fleet repair and maintenance, and procurement number 22-018, Waverly Park. We have 2 public hearings on our agenda this evening. Our first public hearing pertains to ordinance number 22-13. The floor is now open regarding public comments related to ordinance number 22-13. Is there anyone to speak on that particular ordinance, please? Seeing or hearing anyone, the floor is now closed. Regarding our second public hearing pertains to ordinance number 22-14. As chairman of council, I have a potential conflict regarding that particular ordinance, so I will thereby recuse myself from the public hearing on that particular ordinance, and I will turn the speaker over to Councilperson Johnson, our vice chair.
Please let the record reflect that Mr. Morant has recused himself and has left the meeting for this particular agenda item. Public hearing is now open for ordinance number 22-14. Are there any comments? Hearing none, this particular item is closed.
Thank you, Councilperson Johnson. We're moving down to public hearing regarding ordinance number 22-18. I'm sorry, there are 3 public hearings. I'm sorry. The floor is now open for public comments regarding ordinance number 22-18. Are there anyone to speak on that particular ordinance? Hearing or seeing anyone approaching, the public hearing is now closed regarding ordinance number 22-18. We move down to appointments to boards and commissions. The recommendation from Councilman Carolina for the appointment of Damian Blair to Georgetown County Airport Commission. Mr. Carolina.
Mr. Damian Blair. Damian Blair, degree in criminal justice, licensed realtor in Georgia and the state of South Carolina, has an understanding of the need to further develop the economic development aspect in working with the current commission partners on the Georgetown Municipal Airport. And the purpose is to further develop a strong economic entity along with Georgetown County. Welcome aboard, Mr. Blair. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the nomination of Mr. Damian Blair as a commissioner for the Georgetown Municipal Airport.
It's been moved by Councilman Carolina for the appointment of Damian Blair to Georgetown County Airport. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We move down to,
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Blair, for accepting the position. We move down to the recommendation of Mr. Kennedy Johnson to Georgetown County Airport Commission. You all have received the application from Mr. Johnson that was included within your package. The application explains his criteria and his work-related functions. I move that Kennedy Johnson be appointed to Georgetown County Airport Commission.
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to Damian Blair and to Kennedy Johnson for their appointment to Georgetown County Airport Commission. We move down to resolutions and proclamations. It's proclamation number 22-16. Ms. Jackie Roach, Akers.
Mr. Chairman, we in Georgetown County are very proud of our Gullah Geechee heritage, and tonight we are asking you to proclaim the week of July the 30th as celebrating Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. We have Queen Quet, Chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation, here with us tonight. If you see fit to approve the proclamation, she'll be accepting it. Before we call her up, would you like for me to read the proclamation?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sure.
Whereas Georgetown was the third oldest city in South Carolina and the surrounding area, Georgetown County, was the locale of some of the richest plantations in the South during the 18th century, and whereas prosperity for plantation owners was a result of multiple West African ethnic groups brought to the United States and enslaved for the purpose of cultivating cash crops on the plantations of coastal South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida. And whereas through intermingling of many backgrounds and different dialects, the people began developing their own unique culture, language, traditions, cuisine, music, and more derived from their African roots. And whereas descendants of these enslaved Africans are known as Gullah Geechee, one of the oldest cultural groups still thriving as our Southern heritage. Developed through hardship and the adversity of slavery, this resilient group of people is worthy of celebrating. And whereas increasing recognition of the Gullah Geechee cultural legacy can be attributed to individuals such as Queen Quet, founder of an organization whose mission is to preserve and protect Gullah Geechee culture, including work with Congressman James Clyburn on several successful initiatives such as the United States Congressional Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Act. And whereas recognizing the Gullah Geechee culture and celebrating this rich heritage is a crucial part of preserving it throughout future generations. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed, the Georgetown County Council does hereby join in celebration of the 2022 Gullah Geechee Nation Appreciation Week. The theme for this year's celebration, celebrating Gullah Geechee land and living heritage, will be launched on Saturday, July 30th through August 6th of 2022. Furthermore, Georgetown County Council encourages the citizens of Georgetown County to participate in activities to celebrate and increase knowledge and appreciation of this rich culture. So shall it be this 28th day of June, 2022.
Thank you. Is there a motion for approval of proclamation number 22-16?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval of proclamation number 22-16.
It's been moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. Any discussion? All in favor of said motion, please raise your hand. Oppose? Motion carries. Are we going to present the proclamation?
Yes,
To
if
Queen
Queen
Grant.
Wet would come up and join us.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Let's go down to resolution number 22-17. Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of council, throughout our budget process, and I think at our last council meeting, you've all heard a lot about our safety initiatives here at Georgetown County, workers' comp, insurance, accident rates. Quite a bit of information has been shared, and tonight we are here with the good and the better news behind all the stuff that you have heard. Before you tonight is a resolution that is a memorandum of agreement to change our plan with the South Carolina County's Workers' Compensation Trust. That's the group that has held our workers' comp insurance since the late 90s when we entered the trust. This is changing our plan to a lower premium and a deductible plan. They have a different plan. So in the current budget year, the 21-22 budget year, our annual premium for workers' comp insurance, even though it was down from the year before, was about $1,057,000. Now, the good news is, because of all of our hard work to support a council, the backing of our administration, the work that our risk manager does, all the countless hours from the departments and the safety committee and the individual department safety committee, the central safety committee, all that work that we do, our premium for 22-23 was going to reduce by $160,000 or about 15% down to $894,000. In discussion with the folks from the South Carolina County's Workers' Comp, they look back at our history and says, hey, you guys actually qualify for a different plan that would lower your premium to about $417,000. So a huge difference. Now we'll have a deductible now, where before we didn't have a deductible, but they look back at our about 10 years of our history, at the cost that was associated with it, and said, this should be a tremendous cost savings for you guys. We recommend that you go to the deductible plan instead of the no deductible plan that we've been on for 20 some odd years. I can't remember the exact dates. So that is the resolution here before you tonight, is to change our plan to the deductible plan.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any questions for Mr. Ackerman? Council.
I have a comment. I'd just like to say that this is very good news for us, considering these times that we're living in with inflation and all the other things that are happening to the the money supply, so.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good, very good, very good.
Thank you.
I would second my colleagues' comments there. That's a good report representing good control, loss control, and again, less amount of losses and costs results in this, plus the new plan, the deductible. So good move.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
This is a win all the way around.
Okay, very good.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for all the work that you and your department have done for Georgetown County to save us some dollars here. Is there a motion for approval of resolution number 22-17?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilman Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Resolution number 22-18, Ms. Goodall.
Thank y'all. So the U.S., I won't read the whole proclamation and resolution, but the U.S. House of Representatives has designated the month of July as National Recreation Month in the U.S. So we are asking you to consider doing the same thing here in Georgetown County. And just as we realize that Parks and Recreation is an integral part of our communities, and the benefits to our citizens are great in keeping them out moving and participating in programs. So we're asking y'all to also follow the House of Representatives and designate July National Recreation Month in Georgetown County. We have a bunch of different programs coming up to celebrate Recreation Month through the month of July. I left a stack of flyers on your desk just a little while ago. Anyone who wants to find out about all of the various opportunities through the month of July can just go to GTC Parks on social media or the website, and there's information on things happening all across the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Goodall. Are there any questions or comments for Ms. Goodall?
Just keep up the good work there.
Is there a motion for approval of resolution number 22-18?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilman Goggins for approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. One more picture. All right.
I've always wanted to take a picture with squirrel.
Here we go. I'll direct you back to your seat. This one is closer. Oh, good. We'll do what you want.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good applause.
We move down to resolution number 22-19. Ms. Langston.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, County Council. This is resolution number 22-19 for the acknowledgement and acceptance of grant funding for Georgetown County. These 17 grants have been awarded to the county for a total amount of about $17.2 million. Matching funds are necessary for these grants in the amount of $2.2 million. However, we have been notified, we were notified yesterday that we were awarded a grant for the $1.1 million needed for the HMGP Andrews Flood Reduction Phase 2 grant. So we are getting another grant for that grant match. And so with the exception of the United Way AmeriCorps apprenticeship to the employment for fiscal year '23, matching funds have been identified within the budget for all of these grants. In addition to these 17 grants, the county currently has about 50 more open grants with awards totaling in excess of $30 million. Staff requests that you approve Resolution 2219 for the acknowledgement and acceptance of the grants listed in the resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Langston. And any questions or comments from Ms. Langston?
Question. Karis, in regard to the grant for Andrews, are we writing the grant, we are applying for the grant on their behalf? Or?
This is a grant. It's our grant.
Our grant,
To do
Andrews improvement on the drainage.
Yes.
Okay,
Project, and this is now phase number 2.
okay, very good. Is there a phase 3? Or are we coming to a conclusion on that project?
Just starting phase 2, which is phase 1 was the study and the design. Phase 2 is the actual construction. I'm not aware of phase 3 at this time.
Okay, no, I facetiously said stage 3. Okay, but 2 concludes it. Okay, hopefully, the work. Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Ms. Langston, our assistant?
Or this is Juliet Kelsey.
Juliet.
Grants manager
Okay, thank you.
or administrator.
I have a question. Karis, what was our matching funds to that total?
To the total of the Andrews grant or?
The entire bundle, what was it, 17 grants you said?
17 grants. The grants totaled about 17 million, 17.2 million, and the matching funds for those were about 2.2 million.
Okay,
Of that 2.2 million, 1.1 million was just for Andrews.
okay. And that was a stormwater thing, was that what that was?
It's a flood reduction
Okay,
program.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Thank you all for all you do for Georgetown County. Thanks for finding some funding to assist us to alleviate some of the pain within the county, I guess. Thank you. We'll move down to resolution number, no, I think we got to vote on it first. Is there a motion for approval of resolution number 22-19?
Chairman, Lily G., why don't you lead?
I move for adoption of resolution number 22-19.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilor Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move down to resolution number 22-20. Madam Administrator.
Good evening, Council, and to the public. I bring you news of the second installment from the American Rescue Act funds. The funds literally are in the bank. They're a little over $6 million. Before you are the recommendations that we've talked about for the last several months related to what we do with this transformative monies that we've identified for particular projects. That is outlined in the information before you. I certainly hope that you approve the recommendations set before you, because we believe that these projects will transform particularly water and sewer and infrastructure needs that we've identified for Georgetown County. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have on those projects.
Thank you, Madam Administrator. Are there any questions or comments from councilors?
Regarding the Spring Gully allocation. That is for what? I see eradication of blight conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In that, what are we removing? What are we,
Basic
structures, distressed structures?
abandoned mobile homes.
Okay, okay.
Are there any other questions to our administrator? Okay.
One other question.
Yes, sir.
Could a similar type of funding be applied to other areas of the unincorporated areas? When you say that's in the county,
Yes.
say in other parts of unincorporated areas where you have abandoned mobile homes, and whether or not we have an ordinance that follows the track also of vehicles and abandoned mobile homes and so forth, could it be utilized for other areas of the county too, in later and at another time?
Certainly, that is worthy of some consideration as we identify other areas. We were targeting that particular area in conjunction with some other grants that we have. So these grants will work hand in hand together.
Okay, thank you.
There have been several comments coming from the residents of Spring Gully regarding some of the calamities that they are facing within their community, and these funding will assist with eliminating some of those plights, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments for Madam Administrator? Hearing none, is there a motion regarding resolution number 22-20?
Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of Resolution 22-20.
It's been moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Madam Administrator, for recognizing the needs of our county and funding to eliminate some of them anyway. We're moving down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 22-13. Ms. Langston, good to see you again.
Good evening again. This is ordinance 22-13. It's the fiscal year 23 budget ordinance. It has changed since second reading to include $180,000 in grant match in the stormwater fund for one of those grants that you just approved on the resolution, HMPG Litchfield Drainage Improvement Grant. All the funds are still balanced, and staff requests that you give third reading approval to ordinance 22-13 for the fiscal year 23 budget.
I have a question. Ms. Karras, is that the Litchfield thing? Is that the double stormwater line we've got going under 17 there at Litchfield? Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay. How much was that?
How much was the total?
Yes. Just for that portion of it. It was several million, I think.
Well, the grant itself was $1,468,634. They believe that they're going to be able to do enough, that the whole match is going to be $860,000, but they won't be able to get that much of it done. So we're just appropriating enough of the grant match that we need for 23 now. And then we'll appropriate that and include that in the budget the additional amount needed for next year in the 24 budget.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Ms. Langston from council? If not, can we get a motion regarding ordinance number 22-13?
So moved.
It is moved by Councilman Anderson for the approval, for the adoption of it. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Is there a motion to amend to incorporate the revised text?
So moved.
It's moved by Councilman Anderson for the amendment. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. We have first vote on the amended motion. All in favor of the amended motion, well, any discussion first? All in favor of the amended motion, please raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, we'll now go back to the main motion, which include the revised text. All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Langston. We move down to ordinance number 22-14 and also ordinance number 22-15. Please let the record reflect that I have a potential conflict regarding both of those particular ordinances, and as such, I will turn the gavel over to Vice Chair Johnson to preside over this part of the meeting, and I will recuse myself from it. Thank you. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Morant has left the meeting, and now we'll hear from Ms. Richardson.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I will do items 10B and 10C together. This is a rezoning request from a Mr. Richard to rezone a 1-acre parcel from FA to VR10 in order to add 3 mobile homes on the property. And this property is located at 981 Oatland Road in Georgetown. The property is currently split zone. There's a small amount of the property along the front edge adjacent to the street that is already zoned VR10. The surrounding tracts are all FA, and the property across Oatland Road is zoned VR10. Future land use map designates this property along with the surrounding properties as low density, so the map does need to be amended as part of this change. We have not had any changes to this since the second reading. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing back in April and voted to recommend for the rezoning with a 7-0 vote. And they also voted to recommend a change to the future land use map from low to medium density for this request.
Are there any questions? The chair will entertain a motion for adoption of ordinance number 22-14.
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carries.
And item 10C is the same issue, it's just the rezoning for this tract.
Floor is now open for a motion on ordinance number 22-15.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion with a second. Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries.
Thank you, Vice Chair Johnson. We'll move down to ordinance number 22-17. Richardson.
Yes, sir. This is a request from Mr. Steele as the agent for Mr. Merle to rezone this parcel from general residential to general commercial, and the property is located at 9892 Ocean Highway in Pawleys Island. The tract is approximately 4,800 square feet and contains 2 abandoned structures. The applicant is attempting to acquire this property to combine it with the 2 properties to the west in order to create a commercial development. The immediate tracts to the west and the northwest that also front Highway 17 are zoned general commercial. A level 3 buffer will be required along the perimeter of the tract due to the vacant property and the adjacent residential uses. This parcel does fall within 500 feet of Highway 17, so once it's combined with the commercial pieces, it will need to meet the commercial corridor overlay requirements, any new development on the site. And the future land use map designates this property as commercial, so a change to the map is not needed to facilitate the request. We do not view this as spot zoning as it is adjacent to existing commercial property. The Planning Commission held a public hearing in April and recommended approval for the rezoning with a vote of 4-2. And again, we haven't had there are no changes to this since second reading. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Richardson?
Yes, I have a question. Ms. Richardson, refresh my memory. Is this the one that's behind the service station that's on Ocean Highway? And there was a lot behind it that was really landlocked. Is that the one?
Yes, sir. It is adjacent to the station.
Okay,
It's
thank
behind
you.
2 lots that front 17, but it is landlocked right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other questions for Ms. Richardson? Is there a motion regarding ordinance number 22-17?
So moved.
It is moved by Councilman Anderson for approval, for adoption of it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. We move down to ordinance number 2218. Ms. Langston.
One more time.
Yes.
This is ordinance number 22-18. It's amending the fiscal year 22 budget. Section 2 and 4 have changed since second reading, as detailed in the body of the ordinance. And if there's no other questions, we ask that you give third reading approval to ordinance number 2218.
Thank you, Ms. Langston. Any questions for Ms. Langston? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion for approval of ordinance number 22-18?
So moved.
It's moved by Councilman Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. Is there a motion to amend to incorporate the revised text as Ms. Langston stated?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. We first vote on the amended motion. Any discussion? All in favor of the amended motion, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move on to the main motion. Any discussion? All in favor of the main motion, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move down to the second reading of ordinances. So yeah. Ordinance number 22-19. Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, council. This second reading on the bond issuance, the purpose of the bond is for the new detention center. We have been working with county's bond counsel, Franny Heiser. She will, I think, be here at the third reading of this for more questions, but we would ask that you approve it at for second reading at this time.
Okay. Any questions for our attorney, Mr. Watson, from council? Is there a motion regarding ordinance number 22-19 from council?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 22-19.
If a motion to approve from Councilman Goggins, is there a second?
So moved.
Second by Councilman Anderson. Can we get an amended motion to incorporate the text, revised text?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we amend the text as provided by our attorney, Jay Watson, to ordinance number 22-19.
If a motion by Councilman Goggins to amend the text, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. We first vote on the amended motion. Any discussion? All in favor of the amended motion, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll go to the main motion. All in favor of the main, well, any discussion regarding the main motion with the revised text included? All in favor of the main motion with the revised text, please raise your hand. Oppose? Motion carries, I think. We're going down to ordinance number 2220. Madam Administrator.
Good evening again. The motion before you is to surplus property that we currently have on Front Street. We, as part of our process to look at some future disposal of this property, we are going through the 3 readings to be able to surplus this property.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Hearing none, may I get a motion regarding ordinance number 22-20?
I move for adoption.
It is moved by Councilor Johnson for adoption of ordinance number 22-20. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Dawkins. Can we get a motion to amend the motion to incorporate the revised text?
So move for the amended motion.
Okay, it is moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. We first go with the amended motion. Any discussion? All in favor of the amended motion, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Now for the main motion with the incorporated main text. Are there any discussion? All in favor of the main motion with the revised text, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on down to the first reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 22-21 to amend the future land use map for a parcel located on the corner of Murricina and Pennyroyal Road. TMS number 01-0437-003-00-00 from low density to medium density residential. Ordinance number 22-22 to rezone 1 parcel totaling approximately 4.33 acres located at 95 Morrisina Road off of Pennyroyal Road in Georgetown, further identified as TMS number 01-0437-003-00-00 from forest agricultural to 10,000 square feet residential, MR10. Ordinance number 22-23 to rezone 2 parcels located at 130 Cedars Trail and 105 Cedars Trail in Paulus Island, identified as TMS number 04-0166-023-00-00 and TMS number 04-0166-021-00 from 10,000 square feet residential to residential 1 acre. Ordinance number 22-24, an ordinance to declare as surplus a parcel totaling approximately 183.2 acres of land located on 18900 North Fraser Street in the Plantersville, Uhanna community of Georgetown County, South Carolina, bearing Georgetown County TMS number 03-0453-003-01-00, and to authorize the county administrator to sell the property to the man as prescribed on ordinance number 20-32 as amended.
Mr. Zero.
Mr. Zero. Okay. Number 20-30 as amended. Okay. Ordinance number 22-25, an amendment to the Georgetown County Animal Control Ordinance pertaining to restraining animals. Please note that these are the first reading of ordinance, and it was just read into the record only. Okay. Are there any other business coming before council? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Carolina. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please raise your hand. Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming.